Hello, boys and girls. Welcome along. How are we all doing? Did you miss me? Goodness me, it's been a while, hasn't it? Does anyone have any idea what's going on in this save? Because I could probably use a recap. I tell you what would be really handy. Highlights videos. Wish I could have watched the highlights of the last stream, but alas, Topher still won't work for free. So it is what it is, boys and girls. But hello, how are we all doing? Are we all good? Someone in a Lego video today said I had a tan. I don't believe I have a tan. Do I have a tan? Do we have to put me next to the me from 3 weeks ago and see if I had a tan? I wore factor 50 constantly the whole time I was there, and a hat. I don't think I've got a tan. I barely went outside. I spent my whole time in air-conditioned rooms. Yeah, I've had a lovely adventure. If you haven't been watching my adventure, go watch my adventure. A little red forehead. I think that's just the way the light comes off it, because if anywhere on me's not going to have any red on, it's here, because literally factor 50 on, multiple reapplications per day, and a baseball cap on the whole time. This is the one bit that didn't see any sun at all. So that's probably blood pressure and age. More than it is a suntan, I'm afraid. But yeah, are we all good? Have we all had a nice time? Is anyone still playing Football Manager? I hear there was a kerfuffle this week. They waited until I was in the airport. If they'd have released that statement from Miles at any other point during the previous 2 weeks, I could have done a traditional from a theme park, from a hotel room Kev reaction. But I think it dropped literally as we arrived at the airport to fly home. And I just... By the time I got back, everyone else had already released their videos. And most of them weren't getting any views anyway. It was only Zealand and the guy who put a swear on his thumbnail who got views. What news? It was basically the news is no news. We'll have a quick look now, because I think people are gagging to know what I think. And I don't really think a lot, to be honest. I haven't watched any of the videos, so I don't know what other people are saying. But I am trying to find the... Where did they post it? It's not on sportsinteractive.com. Was it on Twitter? I think I saw it on Twitter. Football Manager. I'm just trying to find it so that we can have a look at it quickly. For the few of you who care but haven't seen it. I could have had this prepared in advance, but my brain's not fully functioning yet. Here we go. I've got it. Let's have a quick look. We're not going to dwell on it for too long. We will get into playing the game shortly, but we are going to have a quick look at it. So it was basically an old school blog post from Miles. The return of international management and a review of FM26. I mean, firstly, Miles, I think you'll find the cool thing is to put out 2 reviews of FM26 with opposite viewpoints, and then let people choose the one they agree with, and you get no backlash. So just doing one review, frankly, it seems lazy to me. But yeah, we've got the so I mean, I am flabbergasted that it's the 14th of May and we still don't have international management. I've, as you know, been traveling around the United States of America, well, Central Florida, for the last 2 weeks, and they have loads of stuff in all their shops there for this thing called the World Cup, which I wasn't aware of, but it apparently starts in like 3 weeks. So you would think if they were going to do a new international mode, they would try and coincide with that a little bit. But I mean, I guess May the 26th, or by the way, we're in the UK, that should be 26th of May. What's the Americanization of this all about? But yeah, 26th of May, it's like 2 weeks before the tournament starts, and even then it's not going to be complete. We'll get to that. Let's read it. So ahead of the return of international management, I wanted to speak to you directly to take stock of FM26 overall. Remember, this is Miles, not me. I'll start by confirming that international management will return as a free game update for Football Manager 26. We did already know that. Football Manager 26 console and Football Manager 26 touch on 26th of May. Hitting this date is subject to the relevant platform submissions and licensing approvals, which also includes individual kit manufacturers. Our team will share full feature details and reconfirm the launch date shortly. So that's not set in stone. It could be later than that. It could be later than that, presumably because of licensing and platform submissions. I think, reading between the lines, they're saying it's ready, but knowing what I know about how this stuff works, it can take weeks, especially if you've got FIFA, every nation at the tournament, which has got 48 nations, every kit manufacturer involved, there's probably 4 or 5 of them. Just getting all of them to sign off and say, yeah, this is fine, that can take weeks. And this isn't me making excuses, just explaining the bits that I've learned over the 10 years or so of doing this. And also platform submissions can take ages as well. Some of them take longer than others. I think PlayStation and Xbox can, again, take weeks, whereas Steam is pretty much instant. Epic, a little less instant, but still pretty much instant. So I wouldn't be at all surprised if the PC version was out before the console version and the touch version. But they might decide to hold it back and release it all on the same day, which could delay it on everything, I guess. But we should be playing something soon. In this update, we'll once again be able to manage national teams and see our licensing agreement with FIFA come to life with official FIFA World Cup 2026 branding, broadcast graphics, license kits, asterisk, and the FIFA World Cup 2026 match ball. Honestly, and I think I've been the most positive content creator out there when it comes to FM26. I've rarely criticised, but honestly, who cares? The match ball is... Oh, I promise you, that tiny little dot that you can barely see, if you really, really zoomed in, which you can't, that's going to be the official match ball. Wowzers. Wowzers. The initial launch of International by the way, that asterisk is all the way down here. And that asterisk is saying, while we previously indicated that official kits would be included as part of the international management feature, licensing approvals are still ongoing. As a result, not all FIFA World Cup 2016 kits will be available upon launch of the feature, and some may be added at a later date. So even if the kits aren't approved in time, they're going to release it with what they've got and then add the kits later, which I guess is good. I think the initial launch of international management in FM26 will be supplemented by a second update in June to finalise licensed assets, same asterisk, including the official 26-man 2026 FIFA World Cup tournament squads for participating nations. And that part really interests me, because if it's integrated into Football Manager the way it has been in the past, we'll be playing a full season before the World Cup starts. Are the squads locked in? Or is it going to be an option you can toggle on and off to... Are you going to have the option to basically play a World Cup in isolation with the official squads? But then it will also be integrated into a normal save as well. So you can pick your own squad and play it the way it normally is. I'm interested as to what that means. I still don't think it's completely clear from this whether it's going to be fully integrated in the game or a standalone game mode, which I know is something people are a little bit worried about. Ahead of that, I want to be transparent with you and manage expectations for what is coming in this update. While the mode represents an improvement on FM24, I mean, big words, it'll be the only part of the game that's improved on FM24. But that's not fair. The match engine's better as well. The full revamp will not be realised at launch and will instead be developed further over time. So it's not finished. It's the new trend, not just with Football Manager, not just with Sports Interactive, with games in general. Get it out. Don't worry. Done is better than perfect. It's our motto. So it's not going to be finished, and they are going to continue working on it in time. But even the unfinished version we're going to get, I take that as a promise. Even the unfinished version that we're going to get is better than FM24. So that's good. Challenges within the existing game that I'll touch on below have limited the scope of what we set out to deliver. Looking ahead, your feedback and the improvements already underway will shape our priorities for future game development. Okay. And then we get into the FM26 review. I can see there's somebody in the YouTube chat getting all hissy-fitty. Can we get a mod just wade into YouTube and see what on earth is going on, because someone's being hissy-fitty over there and I can't be bothered to read it all. I don't even know who's said what and what's gone on, but if we can have a mod just wade in and bang their heads together and figure out what's happening, that would be super duper. FM26, our missed expectations. Those of you joining the stream late, we are going to be doing the Bedford save in a minute. We're just looking at this first because I didn't have a chance to earlier in the week. So the FM26 review, it's not as long as mine was. But this is Miles's FM26 review. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 chapters, 6 paragraphs in a sentence. It's not a long review, is it? Reflecting on FM26 overall, we understand the changes we made to the user interface weren't well received by everyone. It's also clear many were frustrated by the changes to navigation and the loss of immersion compared to previous editions. It's nice to see that acknowledged. Obviously, I mean, any idiot can see the UI wasn't well received. My worry would be that would be all they're hearing, because that's the thing that I think certainly initially most people were complaining about. But I think a lot of the updates they've done over the last 6 months have fixed a lot of that. They've not fixed all of that. I'm not saying the user interface is perfect. Don't yell at me any more than you already have. I don't think the user interface is perfect, but I do think it's not a massive problem anymore. It's not perfect, but it's not a massive problem. The massive problem the game still has is the loss of immersion compared to previous editions. So at least they're acknowledging that and are hopefully going to do something about it. For FM26, the intention was to deliver a UI. We're not focusing on the UI, Miles, but continue. For FM26, the intention was to deliver a UI that was more fluid throughout the game, alleviating the disconnect between old and new items we had in FM24. Was there a disconnect? I was open that we wanted to create a UI for our games that would make productivity tools envious. That's such a... Oh, that sentence. Yes, Miles, you were open about that. No one really understood it when you said it. I don't think any of us have ever opened up a video game and gone, you know what would make this game more fun? I wish it was making productivity tools envious. Because I know what I want at the end of a busy workday of using productivity tools is a game that feels like a productivity tool. It was such a weird thing to want the game to be. And they failed at it. The UI for our games that would make productivity tools envious, but that we'd rolled back some of our more overambitious changes in FM26. Okay. I also said that we wanted to build something that was ultimately platform agnostic. Did you? Enabling smoother implementation for our teams across our various products. Instead, this shift was ultimately detrimental to some of your experiences. So yeah, they're admitting. I mean, they're not gone quite so far as admitting it's a console game on PC, which is what everyone accused it of being. But they are saying they wanted it to look very similar and work the same way across every platform, and are acknowledging that that didn't work. I don't know if that means they're going to move away from that, or they think they can make the current plan work. I'm not sure. You know what? The guy who's doing the most shouting on YouTube is getting blocked. I don't even know if he's the one who's in the wrong, but he's just annoying me. Because every comment was him. So he's done. Where are we? Since launch, we've worked hard to try and rectify or remedy issues as best we can. Direct responses to your feedback include the redesigning of certain game screens, as well as the reintroduction of some features and functionality. That is all true. They've done all of that. Doing this on an active game wouldn't have been possible without moving to Unity. I don't fully understand that sentence. I mean, I've got no reason not to believe him, I guess. It just... sitting here with my computer science degree. I'm not sure why. They've released updates on previous games in the past. So I'm not sure. He knows more about it than I do, probably. He definitely knows more about it than I do. While we haven't been able to address or fix everything you've reported, I hope that the regularity of updates offers some reassurance for the challenges you've encountered. FM26 is now a better game than at launch, and the foundations we have in place are much stronger for future iterations. I do completely agree with that. FM26 is without question a better game than it was at launch. I don't think anybody could argue with that statement. FM26 now is a better game than it was at launch. And I do agree the foundations they have in place are much stronger for future iterations. I think as like the alpha version, the beta version, whatever you want to call it, as the opening point, the platform to build upon, I do think it has more potential than the previous version. I don't think the issue was ever the ideas being wrong, although some of the ideas probably were a little bit misguided. But it's difficult to know which without knowing which were the wrong idea and which were just badly implemented or not finished. But the issue was never that it wasn't a strong platform. It was that the game they released wasn't finished. But yeah, I think that's fair. That said, we know that what we released fans has failed to meet the expectations of many. This was the first, for the record, it pretty much landed right on my expectations. I was telling you all for 2 years it was going to be a mess. And then when I said, actually, you know what? This isn't any more of a mess than I thought it would be. Everyone called me a shill. But it did pretty much meet my expectations. I still firmly believe anyone who was expecting it to be polished perfection in a complete rebuild of the game was living in a fantasy world. But they are acknowledging that what they released failed to meet the expectations of many. This was the first instalment of a new era and our first release in 2 years. We know how excited and enthusiastic you were, and so to have come below expectations for some is extremely disappointing. You expect nothing less than excellence from Football Manager. I think we maybe need to switch that into the past tense. If we expected nothing less than excellence, I don't know that we're expecting nothing less than excellence going forward. I think we expected nothing less than excellence, and now we probably expect less than that. I've got my Football Manager mug, by the way. I have got some Holy here as well. Thank you to Holy for sponsoring the stream. But I'm just finishing my coffee because in my brain it's like midnight because I've not adjusted back to UK yet. You expect nothing less than excellence from Football Manager, and that's what the brand stands for. But despite all the updates thus far, we haven't got to that level. That's something I take full responsibility for. Fair enough. Absolutely fair enough. So looking ahead, I mean, just doing a search for a couple of words. Is the word sorry in there? No. Apology? No. Apologize? No. So he's taking responsibility for it. I feel like there's a next step we could have gone to. Is my bad in there. Looking ahead, I know that as a studio we're still filled with tenacious, passionate and talented people who want FM to thrive and evolve, and I think that is important. I've visited Sports Interactive dozens of times. I've met a lot of the people involved in building the game, and I think that is true. I think there's a lot of very passionate, very talented people. I'm not quite sure what tenacious means, but passionate and talented I have to agree with. And I think everybody there wants the game to be better than it is, and everybody there is disappointed with what's come out. And I think nobody is trying to put out an unfinished game that's not good enough. It was just a much bigger job than anybody realised it was going to be. And now they've got the pressure of they had to release it back at the end of last year. They're going to have to release it again this year. They have to release this update now because they've got licenses, they've got contracts, and they've got to make some money. It's the only game they make. So no one is trying to make a bad game. They're trying to make the best Football Manager game ever. And given enough time, they'll probably get there. But it's just taking much longer than anybody expected. To ensure everyone is best equipped to do that, we're turning as many learnings from this cycle as we can into accountable changes. Whether that's internal role changes, new hires, or new ways of working, I'm leading a team committed to putting things right and releasing games more of our fans will love. So heads are rolling. Some heads are rolling. Some people are being moved around. But Miles is leading that team. For our next release, we've got a clear set of priorities informed by the recurring pain points you've raised. Immersion is the main element we're focused on. Be that game world, UI navigation, or the UI itself, we're looking to elevate all of them and are making good headway. Good. Show us that. Show us something. Give us something to... Show us something. Everyone at the studio is committed to rebuilding your full confidence in us. And again, I completely believe that. But we know that trust is earned, not given. So we will speak with you about our work when the time is right and look forward to sharing updates with you. Please don't wait until the end of September to show us anything. That's mad. Just seeing a comment. I had ChatGPT summarize Zealand's video because I couldn't be bothered to watch 25 minutes. Here. And I agree with what Zed said. The language is very minimizing and doesn't actually take accountability. Yeah. You've got him taking responsibility, but it's so much of it reads like a YouTube apology video. But the crucial thing that's missing, there's two things missing. He's not sat too close to the camera trying to cry. And he's not actually apologising. And I do think that that's maybe... It's not going far enough with what the general sentiment is. I think if he came out and said, you know what we released wasn't good enough. I'm sorry. We are trying to do better. I think that crucial I'm sorry would go a long way. It doesn't really give us much. I mean, we've spent 20 minutes on it. I mocked Zealand for doing that. We've just done 20 minutes on it. It's 20 minutes where not a lot is really said. The only thing we've got out of it is international management is coming. It might be on time, it might not. It's not going to be finished when it comes. It might get finished later. And they've acknowledged... I think the most important takeaway is they do seem to get what's wrong with FM26, because my worry all along has been... They see the problem as just a UI problem, because so many people that I speak to see the problem as just a UI problem. So many comments see it just as a UI problem. And I don't think the UI is disastrously bad anymore. It's still not great, but it's getting better. And I think if you had the inner workings of FM24 under this UI, like all the features of FM24, all this stuff, all the depth, if everything from FM24 was in this current version of the UI, I think people would probably be fine. The UI is not the issue. It is the immersion. It's the fact that even now, if I were to resign from Bedford now and holiday 5 years into the future, we wouldn't really be able to tell what had gone on in those 5 years. That's the huge thing that needs to be fixed. I don't really know what's going on in the rest of my game world in this save. That's the kind of stuff that needs to be fixed. I don't know who the best players in the world are. I don't know who England's best players are. I don't know who the best players in the Premier League are. I don't know who the Premier League top scorer is. There's not like, who are we facing first in today's video? We're facing Derby. I don't know when we see that Derby team in a minute. I don't know which players to be afraid of because I have no idea what's going on. That's the problem, and that's not a UI problem. So, yeah. I'm looking forward to playing international football. I think a lot of you are as well. Hopefully it'll be fun. We'll probably do a save on it. We'll see what happens, I guess. But let's play some Football Manager. But first, I've got a lot of people to say thank you to, because we have had a lot of subs come in while I've been waffling. So let's just thank everybody for that. Unkford has done 45 months. S. Brigo has done 13 months. James has done 41. Logan's done 47. Offshore Wasted has done 44. Ngad's done 16. Alex has done 41. Bear Sized Feet has done 28. Digging Dude's done 14 months. Freddy's done 62 months. Mushroom Man's done 9 months. And has posted a message. Hold on, I have some excellent news. I like excellent news. Mrs. Shroom and I welcomed our daughter to the family at 4:18 on Saturday morning. Then what are you doing in a stream? Congratulations. But what are you doing in the stream? She's perfect. Mum and baby doing very, very well. We're somewhat sleep deprived, but absolutely don't care one bit. Congratulations. Get off the internet and go and be a dad, for goodness sake. Geralt the teacher has done a sub as well. Rab, thank you for 41 months. Krupp Mick has done 13 months. Ryan is in with 7 months. Pronounceable Boris has done a sub, 16 months. I don't know why that came through separately. Tyler has done a sub, but it doesn't tell me any much. I know Tyler's done more than 1 month in the past, but his number's not showing. Claptraps has done 27 months. Kieran's done 15. MJ Roper's done 58 months. Siggy's done 34 months. And Archduke Mellon has done 60 months. You know what, boys and girls? I genuinely should only stream once a month. I've come on. I've waffled for 20 minutes. I've had a load of people resub. Holy's great! Exclamation mark holy. Drink a beverage. I'm off to bed. See you in June. That's what we should be doing. Why have I got to sit here for 3 hours now? What's this all about? Yeah, I'm having my last mouthful of coffee. And then we never had any coffee. Don't tell Holy. I'm allowed to drink coffee. It's not a rival soft drink. What I have got is the new flavour of Holy, which I'm trying live in front of you, and I can't remember what it is. So I'm just looking in my notes. It's one of the new matchas that has just launched. This is matcha apple kiwi that I'm about to try. I like matcha, I like apple, I like kiwi. My favourite hydration drink is the strawberry and kiwi. My favourite Holy overall is the lime, mint and matcha. And you know, in a former life, when I drank inferior soft drinks, there was an apple one I was quite fond of. So this should be a combination that is right up my street. Let's get it in my mouth. Imagine if I don't like it now. How good of an actor am I? Smells... Ooh. Ooh. I can taste all 3 elements of that. That's very good. Very, very good. Get on that, boys and girls. And if you don't want to get on that, get on the syrups, because they're also very good. I had this on the go earlier. So yeah, I've got the syrup one as well. Oh, holy everywhere. But let's play some Football Manager. We haven't touched the save for 3 weeks. I don't remember what's going on. In my notes, it says we've just spent loads of money. So how much money have we actually spent? We have... How are we all, by the way? How the devil are we? Are we good? Sorry if you've had to watch Jack while I've been away. I'm back now. Oh, blimey, we did spend a lot. There's so many names here I don't recognise because I've probably never seen them play. Oh, I forgot we signed the big boy. Okay. Presumably we've started the season really strongly. Oh, fiddlesticks. We're going straight back down again, aren't we? We've had a tycoon takeover and started the season, and then spent 200 million plus, and then started the season like that. We need to turn this ship around immediately. Which, by the way, has anyone else gone on Spotify and had their all-time Spotify stats come through? My second most played song of all time on Spotify was "Turn This Ship Around." That's us. We've done that. As a collective, boys and girls. Yes, we have had a tycoon takeover in the last stream. Did I see Omega Luke's news? I haven't seen Omega Luke's news. Do I need to adjust my tone? Is it good news or bad news? You can't... you can't. I need a clue. I need to know how to react. I need to know what tone to offer. I've seen nothing of Luke's news. So I now can't make any jokes in case it's bad news. If it's good news, I've got like 8 loaded and ready to go. Good news, his dad retired. I mean, that's terrible news, both for us and for Luke. Unless you mean he's retired from his job and he's going to be continuing to work with Luke. If you're saying he's retired from Luke's channel, that's a disaster. Luke's going to be homeless. Yeah, I still don't feel like I've got enough information. Luke was able to allow him to retire. Okay, so he's retired from his real job and he's going to... Okay, that's good. That's good news for all concerned then. He's retired from his real job and he's going to be continuing to be on Luke's videos. The channel is saved. Going to say that we can't joke about Luke losing his moneymaker. Wowzers. No, that's awesome. That's really cool that they've been able to do that. It's always nice when nice things happen to nice people and their sons. Ah, who are all these players? Who is Monday? Who is Bright Monday? He seems made up. He's already scored for us. We like Bright Monday. Who are you? Yuta Yamamoto. He looks good, doesn't he? Babelli. I tell you what, we've got a football team here. Isn't he a left back? He is. Do we not have centre backs? Why are we playing a left back at centre back? What's the deal there? I mean, you know what? I need to feel my way back in. Let's beat Derby. Hopefully, because I've not opened the save for more than 3 weeks, it's going to reward me for coming back to it. It probably thought it was done. If Sports Interactive are serious about rebuilding trust with their player base, if you have 3 weeks of not opening a save, you should win your next 10 games. That should be hard coded. Have me enjoy my first session back in the save, and then I'll load it again. If we load this up tonight and we go 2 hours and don't win a match, I'm done. I can't do it anymore. I can't get relegated again. La da da da. Da 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 da. Come on, do a football, you wallies. How did that go with Andratch today? We had a big win, I remember. I distinctly remember a big win. Right. Oh, Manuel is... I am worried that he's going to be the new false 9 Frankie, where we have a big lump who scores loads of goals in the Championship and can't cut it in the Premier League. And the problem is, false 9 Frankie, we paid, I think, like 60 grand for. Manuel, we've spent 35 million on. So we can't really get away with it again. He has to be good. And he didn't look good there, did he? How good are Derby? Did Derby come up with us? Or have they been up here for a while? Seeing Derby in the Premier League is confusing. Roundy, thank you for 50 months. FOMO Flow, thank you for 36 months. A splendid time was had by all. Just need some clip and climb. I think we probably do. I think that is the problem we've got. We've got a completely new team. They need to gel. The problem is Manuel is one of the ones who's not new and shouldn't need to gel. Almost everybody else is new. If we look at who I recognise, who was here last year? He was. There's a chance everyone else is a new signing. And he was here on loan. So it's going to take a little bit of time. What was the biggest surprise about the US? how little I understood of what they were saying to me. I thought they spoke English over there. For years, I've mocked having to send people who speak English on language courses so they can learn to speak US English. I get it now. I now understand it. If they spoke too fast, I had no idea what they were saying. We went to Chick-fil-A and both me and Anna were like, we had to do the order like 4 times. We just couldn't work out what the girl was saying because she was saying it so fast. I still don't know what she was saying. I think it was something to do with sauces and sodas. And something you don't pick up, I don't think, from American TV and YouTube and stuff like that, is how often they say gonna over there. I don't know if that's an American thing or a Florida thing or a Disney thing, but like we'd say something like, I don't know, where's the toilet? First of all, they look at you like you've said a swear if you say toilet, but we'll ask where the toilet is, and the response is, that's gonna be over there. Sorry, sir. I didn't ask where it's going to be. I would like to know where the toilet is now. And yeah, that came up constantly. Which way is the exit? Oh, you're gonna go down there. Who are you to tell me where I'm gonna go? You tell me where it is, and then I'll decide if I'm gonna go there. But yeah, that was constant. And I don't think I've ever noticed that from watching the telly. So that was new and interesting. I mean, the Disney parks and everything, and all of the American shops and stuff, that was all like, I was pretty much expecting. That was all stuff I was kind of prepared for, based on having done some research and consumed media. But I was surprised by some of the little quirks of the language that I just didn't know about previously. Did I find a black crappie at Bass Pro? I didn't, no. I wanted to, but I don't really know how to identify fishes. I have got a Bass Pro hat and a Bass Pro t-shirt and a sticker for my laptop. That shop was amazing. Yeah, and I guess I was quite surprised by the sheer number of independent Lego stores they had and the quality of them. There were probably 6. We didn't even get to go around them all. There were probably 6 really good quality independent Lego stores within an hour of where we stayed in Orlando, or just outside Orlando. And there's probably only 6 in the whole of England, probably the whole of the UK. So to have so many so closely smushed together was interesting. And I've since had a lot of people tell me that's very much not the case over the entire country. It's a weird Florida thing, which is doubly weird because I don't really get why that correlation is there. Yeah, it's a major tourism thing. What's the last thing? I mean, I'm a Lego nerd. What's the last thing I want to do when I'm on holiday? It's buy a load of Lego because I've got to ship it all home or get it all home somehow. So I am a bit confused about why there's so many of them that are attracted by the tourism, but I guess they do roaring business. One of the ones that we went and visited put a thing on Instagram earlier saying they've just spent $2 million on a Lego collection that is being sold in their stores. So they're obviously doing enough business to be able to buy $2 million worth of Lego in one go. Madness. Did I finish the pork rinds over the course of about 10 days? Because every time I had 2 or 3, they dried me out so much I had a choking fit, and Anna took them off me, but she wouldn't throw them in the bin. She'd take them off me, put them to one side, and then I'd find them again. And then she didn't know I'd have them until I started choking again. But yeah, I did eat them all. We're going to lose again here. Come on, Dion, our new shiny goalkeeper. Boo and hiss. The warm-up video was insane with the cereal aisle. Yeah, but we kind of knew about that. Even ChatGPT knew about that. When I asked ChatGPT for, like, I had so many conversations with it in the lead up to the trip. I was like, give me 10 things that are completely unmissable in the US or in Florida. 10 things that we should do that aren't theme park related on our US trip. And every single combination of that prompt I put in, one of the things that always came up was the cereal aisle in Walmart. It's very much a thing, and we were very much expecting it. So that wasn't particularly surprising. Right, we've made all our substitutions. We're losing again. Yeek. Yeek. How Logan has sent a message. How was Chick-fil-A? It was really nice. I liked it. As chicken goes, it was pretty good chicken. Sauce is nice. Birdie wants me to hydrate. I shall hydrate. Exclamation mark holy. Lovely, lovely, lovely. And Weird Wolf, thank you for the sub as well. I wonder what Americans feel about tourists visiting their cereal aisles. I mean, I guess if you're in a tourist place, then they expect it. And certainly the Walmart we went to is very much targeting tourists. As you walk in, on one side you just have loads of Disney merch. On the other side it's just a wall of melatonin, because you can't buy melatonin in the UK. But it helps dealing with the jet lag. So they're like, tourists, buy your ears and your merch, get your melatonin, get yourself to bed, enjoy the parks tomorrow. It was very much a tourist shop, that Walmart. We've just been absolutely battered there, which is not ideal. No stream music anymore. We've not had stream music for, and I would estimate, about 3 years. It might even be longer. My mouse button's not working. I'm having to click like a... Oh, it's that thing where the space bar's not working either. So we just have to continue and then it will magically work again. I might get sacked here. We can't be losing like that to Derby. I think we're going to have to change the system. Which is a problem when we've got so many good strikers. Because the only way to change the system is to get rid of one of the strikers. But I think we've got to get rid of one of the strikers and be a little bit more defensively solid. We can't be doing a 4-2-4 and getting battered like that. So let's kill that. And kill that. No, get rid of it. Get it gone. We're getting new tactics in. So create new tactic. We want a 4-2-3-1 that becomes like that, I think. We need to get some more men behind the ball. And then pick the best 11. Who the hell is Ouvrier? Okay. Hello, Jean-Michel. And then give them their roles that they want. We're not having 2 inverted fullbacks. That's absurd. You can be normal fullbacks and like it, you silly boys. And you're not being a false 9 either. So our new £35 million striker isn't going to be in the team. You can just be a centre forward. And I think we're going to do this. And then we're going to train something else as well, where we have a 4-3-3 that drops back to that even more pathetic. Sacrifice the attacking midfielder as well. And then you can be a normal fullback. You know what? You can be a wing back. But you still have to be a centre forward. There you go. You be a wing back. That's your best role. You be a wing back. Yeah. So you be a fullback. You be that. This is what we're going to do, I think. And then Manuel will just have to come on and change games. I mean, it's not as if he's scoring loads of goals, is it? Never went to Florida. The water tastes like chloride, like everywhere, like elsewhere in the US. I didn't taste the tap water. Why would I be drinking tap water? I had water out of the nice dispenser that I then mixed with my Holy, so it just tasted of Holy. What was dinner today, Kev? We had fish and chips to celebrate being back in the UK. Had some proper chips. Kyle, thank you for 73 months. The people in and around Orlando know that most of the people in and around the shops are tourists, and the locals do even stranger things and hang around cereal aisles. So it's probably not much of a thought to them. There you go. Yeah, I mean, it very much, it's like, it feels a lot like American Blackpool or American Skegness. Everyone there's on holiday, surely. Certainly around the bits I'm hanging out in, everyone there's on holiday. So everyone expects everyone to be on holiday. I took Southampton WSL2 to WSL and now recognise top club after 3 seasons. Still can't sign anyone I want. But I think I'm just a few steps from there and my young team is stacked. Well, lovely stuff. Beautiful. Did you go into downtown Orlando? No. No reason to. There's no Lego store there. There was no independent Lego shops there. There was just no reason to be there. Who the hell is this guy? Yes, delay. I genuinely think, and it seems like an absurd thing to say, but 2 weeks wasn't long enough to get everything done. Bearing in mind, of those 2 weeks, we went to 9 theme parks in 2 weeks. Plus had several days driving around going to various Lego stores. And a Lego release day. And that's it. The trip's done then. We didn't have time to do anything else. There's lots of things we would have liked to have done. Backlash, WWE Backlash was in Tampa, like an hour and a half down the road while we were there. AEW were an hour and a half the other direction over Palm Beach, was it they were at? I mean, both of those shows were on the same night, so we couldn't have done both, but we could have gone to a wrestling show if we'd have had time. We didn't have time. There's so many things we could have done. It would have been nice to drive down and have a look at Miami or drive over and have a look at Tampa. But we just ran out of time. The theme, I've got a long list of stuff just in the Disney parks to do next time. There's got to be a next time because we haven't done everything we wanted to do. We just ran out of time for it. We only went to Hollywood Studios once. We only went to Animal Kingdom once. And we went to Animal Kingdom once for like half a day because then there was a typhoon warning. So we did half a day in Animal Kingdom and that was it. WWE Developmental Centers in Orlando for NXT. Yeah, there's so much stuff we could have done. So I think we'd very much like to go back. Probably, and I don't want this to be a spoiler for vlogs that haven't come out yet, but I don't know that we'd bother doing Universal again. As people, we're not really rides people. We're experiencing the atmosphere and mooching around the shops and looking at the pretty things kind of people. So as cool as parts of Universal were, and some of the best theming in the whole of the area was particularly in Epic Universe. The Mario area there is phenomenal. The Harry Potter stuff across the 2 parks is really, really good. But we paid quite a lot of money for 14-day Universal tickets, and we went twice. And most of what I enjoyed about Universal, the thing I enjoyed most about Universal was wandering around the shops in the City Walk area that you don't even have to pay to get into. So I think if we were to go again, we wouldn't bother with the Universal tickets. We'd maybe have half a day at the City Walk. Although having now been to Orlando Airport, I maybe wouldn't even bother with that because the Universal shop there is massive. So we wouldn't go back to Legoland because it's too far and I don't need to go there twice. So that frees up a day. We wouldn't do the 2 days at Universal, so that frees up 2 more days. We would time it so we weren't there for a Lego release day. So that, because I spent that whole day working. 1st of May was just a write-off work day. So we could free up 4 more days to then maybe go back and do some more stuff in Disney that we didn't get time to do, and maybe go and see some more of the surrounding area. I think we'd probably stay at a different hotel next time as well. Having now tried out the Skyliner and the monorail and some of the other modes of transport other than the bus, because the only option we had was the bus. I think we'd stay somewhere that had a Skyliner or monorail link up, because the buses at times were a ball ache waiting for them to come. They're like every half an hour, and sometimes you get to the bus stop just as the bus is leaving and it's like, oh, now I've got to wait half an hour. And for some reason, waiting half an hour for a bus to come back feels like a longer half an hour than waiting half an hour in the queue for the monorail, because you're constantly moving. So yeah, I think we're definitely looking to go back. I think we'll probably do California next year so that we can go to Disneyland. And then maybe the year after look to go back to Florida. I think that's the plan as it stands at the moment. Right, here you go. New look team. Got our shiny new left back in. 2 proper centre backs in. Bright Monday's up front on his own. And we've got an actual midfield. Let's see how this works. Have you been keen on the Scottish Premiership? I'm not sure what that means. Do I like it? Is that what that means? Right idea, WDW. I didn't see most of what Kevin did at Epcot. I didn't know about rides and things. And someone missed going into most of those buildings, etc. Yeah, well, Pab had been before and said that when he went like 15 years ago, when he went to Epcot, he didn't do any of the World Showcase. He didn't realise it was there. So I think it is so easy to miss huge parts of the parks. Probably less easy now that you've got the app, and the app makes it very clear where everything is. But if you're just wandering around aimlessly, it's easy to miss out huge parts of the parks. The Magic Kingdom video we've already released, we didn't touch the... I forget what the area is called. The bit where Big Thunder Mountain and all that stuff is. I didn't even know that was there. There is another video coming later in the series where we went back to Magic Kingdom and did that side of the park. But we did, when that Magic Kingdom video released, I thought we'd done Magic Kingdom. Yeah, Adventureland, is that what it's called? And then we went back to Magic Kingdom and spent another day there and saw completely new stuff the second time around. So it is easy to miss loads of stuff out. But I think that's the great thing about Disney World in general. There's stuff there for everybody, and you can go there. If you're really into roller coasters and rides like that, you can go and have a fun week there. If you don't care about rides and just like wandering around while they play Disney songs while smiling, you can go and spend a week there. If you just want to go and buy loads of Disney merch, you can go and spend a week there. If you just want to go and watch shows, you can go and spend a week there. There's stuff for everybody. It's brilliant. Had a wonderful time. But, and I'll say this quietly because some people will get offended. There's been a couple of people in the YouTube comments on the vlog channel who've been very offended. It even hints towards this. Still think Disneyland Paris is better. I think Disneyland Paris is more magical. You're more in the bubble in Disneyland Paris. Disney World is great for a 2-week holiday where you get to do something new every day and you also get to experience America as an outsider and you have some really fun, cool Disney days. But I know they talk about the Disney bubble there. There is nothing comparable to the Disneyland Paris bubble at Disney World. It's too big, it's too spread apart, having to get the bus everywhere. Everywhere being half an hour from everywhere else is rubbish. The parks in isolation are great, but I want to leave Magic Kingdom and go and have a look in World of Disney in Disney Springs, or go and have dinner at Epcot. And it's just not simple to do that because everything is a trek. Whereas when you're at Disneyland Paris, you can go and do the Spider-Man ride in Studios and then go on Small World and then pop out to World of Disney in Disney Springs, go back to your hotel, which is also only a 3-minute walk away, go back into Disneyland again. And that's a bubble. When I go to Disneyland Paris, if I stay in an on-site hotel, I park my car and then I don't see it again until I'm leaving. And I don't leave what I would class a proper bubble. I never once touch a bus. I never once have to go on a monorail or a Skyliner or spend any more than 5 minutes getting from my hotel to the Disney Village to either of the parks. Everything is walkable and close together. And yeah, there's less of it. And yeah, everyone there's French. But in America, they're all American. There's no real positive. But yeah, you can't beat the magic of just being within it constantly all of the time. I love it. But that's not saying I didn't like Disney World. I thought that was great too. I think they're both awesome. But if I had to pick now one, I'm only allowed to go to one for the rest of my life, it would be Paris. Easy to get to versus spread out is a general difference between Europe and North America. Yeah. And I'm always going to prefer the nice, compact, walkable. I don't want to have to get a bus. I hate getting a bus. I don't get the bus at home. I don't want to get the bus on holiday. And the thing is, they've got room on the Disneyland Paris site to add a third park. If they put Epcot or Animal Kingdom in that space they've got in Paris, it would be perfect. There'd be no reason to go to America. But I do think both of those parks are really good. Got to go across the street, got to go by car, as you mentioned, the most recent rest day video. Yeah, that was bananas. We literally had to drive from one side of the street to the other because there was no way to walk it. We're getting thumped again. I'm genuinely worried I'm going to get sacked here. Public transportation is the number one thing in Europe. Yeah, but you don't need it at Disneyland Paris. You literally turn up and then you don't need to do any transportation because it's all there. And that's what I want. I want to be genuinely within the bubble. I refuse to believe there is a Disney World bubble. Yeah, there's a sign that says you're entering Disney World, but you're still just driving on the motorway. It's not the same. How was the storm? Was it really bad or just like a bad British storm? It was. I mean, it was. We didn't really go out in it. There was lots of bits that had blown off trees and stuff. We were kind of on the edge of it. It didn't pass directly over Orlando. It was like 20 miles north of where we were. But it was very windy and very rainy all afternoon. So this tactic doesn't work then, does it? I mean, there's no point changing now at 5-0 down. To be fair, they are doing the worst tactic that I hate. I think we just have to wait until the new players settle in. The problem we've got is we've signed 15 new players. And that's always going to take time. Um, Disney Paris seems like the experience of going to an all-inclusive hotel. You go for 7 days and stay there in the bubble having fun. Yeah. And there are certainly things about the US version that's better. The food court that was in the hotel, way better than anything in Paris. We only had like a sit down table service meal twice the whole time we were there. The rest of the time we did quick service. Half the time we just ate at our hotel because the food was fine. There's nothing like that in Paris. So eating is more expensive in Paris. Um, I think you need the meal plan to do Paris without taking out a loan. Whereas we didn't have a meal plan for Florida, and I think we probably saved money by not doing it. Like I say, they're both really good. Like how we're talking about Disney while being thrashed 5-0. I mean, I don't care that we're being thrashed 5-0. I'm not bothered. We've learned that this tactic isn't the answer. We'll try a different one in the next match. There's nothing I can do with 20 minutes to go at 6-0 down to change it. Who is the person on holiday with you? We've given you all the information you need. It's Pab. Anyone who's ever watched any of my content on that channel knows who Pab is. Pab's been around since before that channel. Pab was in videos on that channel before the daily vlog started. He's been in hundreds of videos before. It's Pab. That's enough information. It's Pab. Pab's always around. Did Anna enjoy her German birthday? Well, she did. She had like 3 different sausages. Lovely time. Lovely, lovely time. What a birthday meal. Sausage assortment. This might be one of the worst performances this Bedford team have ever done. What is my speed and camera setting? It's just the standard one. Standard one that everyone uses. I don't think there's anything unique about it. Yikes. Okay. So we're never touching that tactic again. We go to this one. And we hopefully beat Crystal Palace. But I have been enjoying the speculation in the comments about who Pab is. Firstly, love the fact that everyone thinks he's called Pav and not Pab. That's been fun. But some of the things that it's been suggested he is, he's, and no one, from what I can tell, no one has just said, "Oh, is that your friend with you?" I don't know why no one's thought that's a potential option, but it's been suggested he's my carer, Anna's carer, our assistant, our cameraman. There was someone who suggested we were a throuple. Someone said he was the milkman. Is it so unusual for a group of friends to go on holiday together? I don't understand. I love the YouTube comment whining that you worked on Labour Day. I don't even know what Labour Day is. Yeah, I didn't get that at all. What on earth is Labour Day? I work every day. I work Christmas Day. Is he not Anna's brother? Correct. He is not Anna's brother. That one hasn't been suggested. When I went on holiday with my friends, we were all carers for each other. Yeah, exactly. That's. I mean, his role is multiple. It has multiple layers. He would go out and rope drop every day, so we didn't have to. He got his fill of rides, but also scouted each of the parks for us. So when we arrived at like 11 o'clock, he'd tell us what was good and what was not and lead us around. That was handy. He's also there to keep me amused when Anna needs to rest, because Anna isn't capable of doing 14 intensive all day activity days in a row with massive long travel days either side of it. It's just a physical impossibility for her. She needs rest days, she needs downtime, she needs afternoon naps and time with her TENS machine on and time to just rest. So Pab keeps me amused during those hours, keeps me out from under Anna's hair. He tells us where we've parked the car. He helped me figure out what petrol we needed to put in the car, because believe it or not, nowhere on the documents for the car we hired did it say whether it was petrol or diesel. It didn't mention it in the manual. It didn't mention it in any of the emails. We ended up fiddling with the touch screen thing in the car and eventually found it in the settings on there and discovered that it was petrol. But yeah, he just did lots of useful things. I thought it was fascinating that some people thought he was the cameraman. It's like, you see that he's not holding the camera though, right? Do you think he's walking around in front of me holding a camera out in front of my face like that, and he's walking backwards the whole time, and then when the camera spins round he just ducks to go under it? No, it wasn't noted on the inside of the cap. It wasn't noted anywhere. Oh god, that was another one. Yeah, Secret Son. He's 40 years old. He's like 8 months younger than Anna. He's 3 years younger than me. How can he be our son? Right, let's beat Crystal Palace. Positive though. Let's beat the Crystal Palaces. There are practically no diesel regular passenger cars in North America. Yeah, but I didn't know that. Bradford versus Bolton is on if interested. I am not interested. Pabby would be. He's a Bolton fan. So there you go. That's another role he plays. Resident Bolton fan. He would also find out what channel the wrestling was on for me each night. So from your description of Pab, he's your PA and carer. Pab's looking good for 40. Not as good as I'm looking for 43, but I assume you just forgot to type that bit. Come on, do a goal. Somebody do a goal. You look more manly, obviously. Obviously I do. The shirt sizes thing is funny. XL there is XXL here. I don't think that's true. I think that must vary from place to place. Someone said that to me and I was like, well, this t-shirt I'm wearing now is a UK XXL. All the t-shirts I bought while I was there were US XXLs and they fit the same. So either there's not much difference between extra large and 2XL, or I mean, there's a chance this is an American shirt, I guess. Where is this even from? Maybe it's an American shirt. I think it was one of the ones I got for a brand deal at some point. I did do a couple of brand deals with American t-shirt companies over the years. I may not own any UK t-shirts at all. Actually, no, all my QWERTY sized UK or American. They might be American sized as well. Perhaps every shirt I wear is American sized. Perhaps I am a 3XL in the UK and a 2XL in America. But I was buying 2XL shirts and they fit fine. But I haven't walked into a shop in the UK and bought a t-shirt in about 15 years. Do you really have no idea about Hearts being close to winning the Scottish Premiership? No, I have no idea about that. I don't know who's winning any leagues that I'm not interested in. I don't know who won the championship. Did Coventry win the championship? I remember seeing Coventry got promoted, but I don't know who else did. And I don't know if they won the league or finished second. And that's the league between the two that I'm interested in. In fact, on that note, I don't know who's been promoted from League One. And I watch a League One match every week. No idea who's been promoted. Ipswich went up. Coventry did win the league. There you go. Yeah, I don't pay attention to teams that I'm not interested in. Never mind leagues. It is nice to hear that somebody other than Rangers and Celtic is going to win the league up there. But I'll have forgotten about it by the time I go to bed tonight. I'm not that bothered. Right, come on, let's do a goal. We're not losing, which is nice. Right, here we go. Football. Football. Ah! I only know Ipswich because that promotion triggered an unwanted Ajax player's buy clause. Fair enough. Southampton cheated. What do you mean Southampton cheated? They cheated but didn't get promoted. What did they cheat to do? Oh, football goal! We're going up as bleeping champions. Come on then. Bed cry. Exactly. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. We are the football boys. There's no sign of Bright Monday. Where's he gone? Southampton sent a spy to Middlesbrough, got caught. There's a hearing. Goodness me, who cares? Football's so weird. Why does it matter? It should be no business of anybody involved what's going on in training. Middlesbrough shouldn't know what's going on in Middlesbrough's training. That's the assistant manager's job. If I was Middlesbrough manager, I would rightly have no idea what was going on in Middlesbrough's training. Never mind being Southampton's manager and knowing. Can we do a winner now? Because we're now not winning anymore. By the way, and I can't believe this hasn't come up in an hour, I'm pretty sure I said on the last stream, when I came back from my holiday, Arsenal would be top of the league again and in the Champions League final. And I remember lots of people laughing at my nonsense. We just need to go through and take some names. I wish I had a list of everyone who said I was delusional. How has that not come up in the first hour? As usual, Kev was right and you lot were all wrong. Yeah. Yeah. That's why it's not come up. Because you're all embarrassed about how wrong you were. Looks like Spurs might slay it. Yeah, that's the one downside to it. It is unfortunate that it's Arsenal's fault that Spurs are going to stay up, but I think it is. I consider it a small price to pay. Yes, Spurs get to stay in the Premier League, but in exchange, here's the Premier League and Champions League trophies. So I suppose it's an acceptable trade-off, reluctantly. But only if both trophies turn up. As a Villa fan, I apologise for keeping Spurs up. Is all hope lost of them going down now? I haven't looked at the wrong end of the table for a while. My kid's an Arsenal fan. I'm trying to be supportive. Sounds like a very sensible kid. West Ham pretty much have to lose their last 2 games. Surely West Ham losing doesn't help Spurs get relegated, does it? Do you mean West Ham have to win their last 2 games? Who are West Ham playing in the final 2 games? Let's have a look to see if it's possible for everyone's dreams to come true. So, final 2 games. Spurs have got Chelsea away. They're very capable of losing that. Meanwhile, West Ham have got no one, apparently. Oh, Newcastle away, which they're probably not going to win, are they? It's probably all over there. And then final day, Spurs are at home to Everton, which again, they're quite capable of losing. West Ham are at home to Leeds, which is a possibility. I mean, it's not, all hope is not lost. It could still work out okay. There's only 2 points between them, but Spurs have a much worse goal difference. It's going to be a tough one, isn't it? Yeah, Spurs have to lose both games. West Ham have to win both games. That's a shame. But like I say, I'll probably be okay with it if Arsenal win the league. I'm not sure even I'm delusional enough to think both trophies are realistic. I think that Paris Saint-Germain team's quite good. It needs to be a defensive masterclass and a couple of set pieces for the Champions League to happen. And that defensive masterclass is quite difficult without a right back. So unless Timber's magically going to get fit again, I don't know. So I'm not going to be devastated if the Champions League doesn't go the right way. But at this point, that Premier League title should be happening. Arsenal can do a set piece and shut up shop, been exploiting set pieces all season. Oh yeah, it's possible. I think even the best defence in the world, which I think is what Arsenal are at full strength, even the best defence in the world, he's going to struggle against that Paris Saint-Germain attack. So the only hope is keep a clean sheet and then hope for that set piece goal, I think. Arteta said Timber was looking better. The thing is, Arteta said Timber was a matter of days, like 2 months ago, and he's not been seen since. I saw an interesting stat earlier that Arsenal women had better attendance this year than 8 Premier League teams. Nice. That is an interesting stat. Right. I think it's a problem that we didn't win that game. We only got 2 points from our first 6 matches. And now we've got to play Man United. Helps they're playing a bigger stadium than most Premier League teams. Yeah, but I think there are very few women's teams who would come close to filling Bournemouth's ground. Never mind Arsenal's. So that's only part of it. The facility is there to have 60,000 people turn up, but that doesn't automatically mean 60,000 people want to come and watch the women's team. Villa almost got PSG last year with aggressive, fast-paced football and solid set pieces. There's a chance. There's always a chance. I'm just not going to be. I'm not pinning my hopes on it. I'm not going to be desperately sad if PSG win the Champions League again. I think they probably are the best team in Europe, and I think there needs to be a big asterisk next to that, because they're one of the reasons they're the best team in Europe is because they can put the reserves out in the league every week, which is a huge advantage. But yeah, the not winning the Premier League from this position would be concerning. The season was much closer. They only just won it last night. Yeah, but they still haven't been playing the first team week in, week out. They've managed to just win it last night without ever playing their full strength Champions League team in the league. Dembele won French League Player of the Year. He only started 9 games in the league. Yeah, exactly. So they're going to be much, much fresher. And it shows. Right, let's see if we can beat Manchester. Right, here we go. We're going to beat Man United and we're going to go on and win the league. We've got to start winning at some point. We can't get relegated 2 seasons in a row. Or 2 out of 3 seasons, I guess. Because at the moment, we're performing worse than we were last time we were in the Premier League. And this time we spent 200 million on players. I've never tried matcha. You should. It's delicious. This new matcha that they're doing is very, very tasty. It helps that it's apple and kiwi flavour matcha as well. So next year, California, Tokyo, Disney in 2 years. I don't know if we're going to do Tokyo because I've been I had that exact same thought process, both Tokyo and Shanghai. But then I started doing some Googling, and apparently disabled access for both Tokyo and Shanghai is a long way from ideal. So I don't know that it's something that's realistic for us to do. Like, even to the point of, I don't think, from what I can tell, it's not particularly easy to go out there and hire a mobility scooter and then get that to the parks, and just simple stuff that you can do in America easily. So until Anna can have her knee replacement and back surgery, that's 2 pretty major surgeries she's got to have and completely recover from before we can even consider doing something like Tokyo, because she needs to be able to walk it, and it's just not something she can do now. Then Universal in the UK. Yeah, very much looking forward to that. Obviously, we'll go to Paris a few times in there. I'm genuinely considering going to Paris in 2 weeks just for a 1-night thing, because there's a Disney Main Street Lego set coming out on the 1st of June. And last year, when they released the Beauty and the Beast castle, we went and bought it from the Disney Village Lego store, and it was a really... the video more than paid for the set. It was a really well received video because it's obviously bonkers driving all the way to Paris to buy a Lego set. So I'm considering doing it again for this Main Street one that's coming out in June, which then doubles up as well. We can check out the Frozen stuff while we're there as well, which we haven't seen yet. How's the office for Block Party looking? I don't know at the moment. We got back yesterday afternoon and I've just not had a chance to look. I know before we left, the original one we were looking at had already gone, but there were a couple of others that were maybes. I was talking to Matt about it this afternoon because Matt acted as my PO box while I was away and I had some packages delivered to his house. So I popped over to Matt's this afternoon to collect my Lego. I've got a problem. And he asked the same question because obviously he's the man who'll make it from a empty room into a proper YouTube studio. And I said the same to him. The one we were looking at is gone, and I just haven't. And there were others a couple of weeks ago, but they might have gone now as well. I'm probably not going to have a chance to look at what's available until next week. And even if I do, I probably need to pay off the credit card bill that Past Kev has run up first, so we might put it on hold for a month. Oh, they've missed their penalty. Just because I probably spent more in America than I thought I was going to spend. Excuse my ignorance, would it not be possible to hire a scooter for the full trip from the airport or a company in Tokyo and returning on the way home? I mean, potentially, but you need to be able to get it around. Like, we had this problem in America. We hired a scooter for the whole trip that was delivered to our hotel on the first day and collected from the hotel on the last day. But then we had to hire 3 other scooters over the course of the trip in addition to that one, because there was no way, even in America, where there's loads of mobility scooters and loads of disability access, but there was no way to get the scooter from our Disney hotel to any of the Universal parks or to Legoland. So each of the Universal parks and at Legoland, we had to hire separate scooters to get delivered there. And that's in America that has really good accessibility, and people going around theme parks on a scooter is completely the norm. Compared to Japan, where it's really, really rare, I can't imagine being able to hire a scooter that's going to have a big enough battery to do a full park day that's going to fit in a Japanese rental car, for example, or a Japanese taxi or a Japanese bus. Do I have Matt on an official retainer at this point? No, but I did buy him a pack of Scooby snacks from the Universal shop. So that's probably better than being paid, right? He's got a little tin of Scooby-Doo sweets. I have told him he's gonna work for our company one day. And he reminds me that I can't afford him, which is very accurate. But one day, I promised him when I get a big warehouse with all my YouTube production activities under one roof, he'll have an office in the corner and be the official technical man. And again, he reminds me he's very expensive. But yeah, fingers crossed. The plan is still very much get a proper studio for Block Party. Definitely. Speaking as a ne'er-do-well slob, do you not get fed up doing stuff all the time? No, I love doing stuff. I hate not doing stuff. I get bored really easily. If you're officially hiring for the Leisure Enterprises, does that mean you own the Streamer Showdown? I think Ben would probably have something to say about that. I'll hire them both. Can we do a goal, please? I mean, they've missed a penalty and had a goal disallowed. It would be perfect if we could completely FM them and just grab a winner. This tactic seems to be the least defensively problematic of the 3 we've used. We're just not scoring goals. Disneyland Shanghai was great for accessibility if you'd consider a stay there. There's a lot of Chinese EVs with disabled access to for transport to and from places. I mean, we'll look into it a little bit more. It's not next on the list anyway. Next on the list is California and probably a second visit to Florida. We'd definitely like to get around them all one day, but we're not in a mega rush to do it on a deadline or anything. I mean, we have been pathetic going forward in this match, but we've been pretty solid at the back. Now we just need to work out how to score goals from this system or even create some chances. We've had 4 shots. Oh, please don't mess it up now. Your Wallies. Oh. Oh. Well, boys and girls, that is our best result of the season. We are still rock bottom of the league. But if we'd have played like that against Derby, we'd have won. And now we've got Arsenal away. It doesn't get any easier, does it? We're not bottom of the league anymore. Leicester are bottom of the league. What a time to be alive. Galactic Gaz, thank you very much for the super chat. Yo, look, it's the dude from YouTube. Yeah, it is. You missed out the word handsome, but I'll allow it. I've noticed you seem to enjoy FM but kind of dislike real football. I wonder how common that is for FM players. It's not that I kind of dislike real football. It's just I'm obsessive about Football Manager and some other things in my life. And I've never been obsessive about football. Like, I don't have time to watch. Like, I've got no interest in watching matches where I don't care who wins. I admire the fact that there are people who can do that. But if I don't care about the result, I don't really want to waste my time watching it. Same reason I don't watch movies. If I don't care what's going on, I'm not going to watch a movie. I don't watch a lot of movies as a result. So it's not that I don't like football. It's more that I need to have some stakes. I need to actually care, or else it just doesn't interest me. Maybe I should become a gambler. Give myself a reason to care. But yeah. Like, I've watched almost every posh match and almost every Arsenal match this season. I was literally walking around Universal watching the Champions League semi-final on my phone while Anna was getting very frustrated with me and telling me to just enjoy being at the park. I'll remind you again, this is the Champions League semi-final. So I watch football when I care about the result. But I've said many times over the years, if I had to choose, if one thing was like snapped Thanos style out of existence and I had to choose whether to keep football or Football Manager without even hesitating or thinking about it, I'm keeping Football Manager. Football I can live without football. I can't live without Football Manager. Football Manager is an obsessive, autistic special interest of mine, whereas football is just a fun thing that I like, but don't like. I could live without. Kev as a gambler, I must advise against. Yeah, I don't like gambling when I'm not in control. Like I paid my bills playing poker for like a year when I was at uni. I'm not against having a flutter, but I have to be in control of the outcome. I don't want to give people money to have a guess about what might happen. So yeah, I'm not a sports bettor at all. Football is an activity based on Football Manager. Exactly. Football Manager is the important bit. If football disappeared tomorrow, I don't think FM27 would be great if it ever comes out. I genuinely think if football disappeared tomorrow, FM27 wouldn't be any different from what it's going to be anyway. The only reason I play with real players on is so the viewers don't moan. I would happily play this game with completely made up teams and players. It's not the fact that it's based on real football that makes it something I enjoy doing. I enjoy the process of playing the game. I would happily play with imaginary teams, imaginary players, no attributes, and just enjoy pressing my buttons and watching my little men run around. Martin, thank you for 62 months. Arsbed isn't going very well. Did you go to Discovery Cove whilst in Florida? No, I don't know what Discovery Cove is. To find out if Hannah loves swimming with sharks. There were a couple of opportunities to swim with sharks. Maybe that was one of them. There you go, I've got a shark in my hand now. But she had an opportunity to swim with sharks before we even left the country, because we spent the night in Manchester before we flew to pick up Pabby. And she could have swum with sharks at the Sea Life Centre there, and she didn't want to do it there. And as far as I'm concerned, if you don't want to swim with sharks in Manchester, you don't get to swim with sharks in Florida. It's just a simple rule that I have about life. You prefer the game when the game goes into new gens and the current players start retiring? Yeah, absolutely. Before YouTube, I would only ever have one save on each version of the game. And I would get sometimes as much as like 100 years into the future. I'd retire my manager every time he hit like 70 years old, and his son would take over at the bottom again, and we'd just basically keep rolling around non-league to legend, starting again at the lowest playable team near where the previous manager was when the new manager would have been born. I went full nerd with it. But you can't do that on YouTube because a huge proportion of the viewers lose interest when it's not real players anymore. You notice it in the views for any series. Once you get like 10, 12 years into a save, the numbers drop off massively because it's a load of people that a lot of viewers can't relate to because they're just made up names. But yeah, this is why when people talk about like best, when people do, you get people talk about really good players from old Championship Manager and Football Manager games, and then I don't know who they're talking about, and they're like, well, you didn't play it then, did you? Well, I did, but the guy you're talking about was only relevant for the first 3 seasons out of the 150 that I played, so why would I remember him? I'm not constantly restarting a save and signing the players on the shortlist I downloaded like you were, you nerd. We just did a goal, by the way. So that's why I don't know who some of the all-time Championship Manager legends are. Because I've always played non-league to legend style, even before it had a name. Ah, ball bags. Disallow that, referee. There must have been a foul in there somewhere. Let's demand more. Doobie 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 doo doo doo. Doobie 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 doo doo doo. Oh, not ideal. Arsenal with set pieces. 'Tis a problem. Oh, apologies to headphone people. I like when a few different teams have established themselves in top flights and the save is a bit different. But as a football nerd, I get more enjoyment from knowing all the players in the database. See, looping all the way back round to what we were talking about at the start of the stream about the immersion of this version of Football Manager compared to other Football Managers, you should know who most of the players, you should know who the top players in your game world are, even if they're all new gens. It should be something you just learn by osmosis by playing the game. And that's the biggest issue with FM26. You probably couldn't do this kind of save that I've just described on this game, because you've got no way of knowing who any of them are. You don't learn who those best players are. Who am I trying to take off here? Right. We're going a bit more attacking. This is what's happening. Oh, Croupie's back. I forgot we had him. Now you're talking. Do you think assistant managers matter, or do you just hire retired footballers like me? I just leave it to my director of football to do. I don't know who my assistant manager is in this save. I never do. I leave all of that to my director of football, or technical director, I guess, when you get to a certain level. I'm just not really bothered by any of that. Right, come on. Do something football-y, one of you. There you go. I can relate. I used to bounce around Liga 3 in Portugal for decades, and the most fun part was trying to be an expert on all the decent talent across Portugal without any prior knowledge of them. Yeah, exactly. And you just can't do that in this game as it stands at the moment. And hopefully that's what they'll bring back with FM27. It's a hard thing to do because it's not like an obvious, tangible thing that's missing. It's a whole combination of a lot of different things and feelings, and yeah, it's a very difficult thing to bring back, that level of immersion that they kind of just developed over many, many, many years. Have you seen Geographifa's video about the game he's making? I have not only not seen it, I have no idea who a Geographifa is. Basically a new Football Manager game with more options and detail. I mean, in the nicest possible way. I've heard it all before. If it's a guy making it on his own, I can tell you for certain it hasn't got more options and more detail. It can't. It's not possible. Even if he's got a team of 20 really good people around him working with him on it, it is impossible for it to have more detail and more options than FM. He might have lots of ideas for what he wants it to end up like, but spoilers, so does Sports Interactive. It's easier said than done to actually implement them all. There's been many, 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 many people who've tried, and no one else has ever come close to making a football management game on the level of the one Sports Interactive has spent the last 30 years making. For all their faults, they're still the best at it, and no one even comes close. I would love for there to be a legitimate competitor that actually makes a really good game that is genuine competition. I just don't see that it's likely to happen anytime soon. Football Manager are the experts who've spent the last 30 years doing it, and even they're struggling. I just think it would be very surprising for somebody with no prior experience to come in and make a better game than the best at doing it have made. Only way it happens is if there's another split somewhere and the team splits. Yeah, potentially. I think there's a possibility you could get a team within EA doing it potentially. I think FIFA Manager Mode or EAFC Manager Mode probably has enough about it that with enough investment and dedication, they could maybe get there. If they genuinely decided to do a manager game, I think if you gave them 5 years and a big budget, EA could probably come up with a competitor. But that's the thing. They're not going to be given 5 years and a big budget. Do you think it'll end up being a good thing they're focusing on console experience more and making FM more universal? Yes. It's something I was suggesting they do for years. I'm completely in support of the idea. It just wasn't implemented very well and wasn't finished. But I find it, if you look at all of the biggest games across genres, across gaming as a whole, it's so weird and unusual to have the game with the same name on different platforms that looks and plays completely differently. Minecraft is the same on every console you play it on. Fortnite is the same on everything you play it on. Civilization, it's the same on everything you play it on. And EAFC, it's the same on everything you play it on. You literally just name game after game after game after game, and they're all the same on everything. If you know how to play it on one, you can play it on the others, and it's the same game, the same experience. It's just how modern gaming is. And the audience on console is much bigger than the audience on PC, the potential audience for sure. And you've got stuff like Xbox Game Pass and PlayStation Plus and Apple Arcade and all of these services that allow you to do that subscription model by the back door and secure a certain amount of income every year, because Football Manager don't need to sell 1 million copies a year on PC anymore, because they have guaranteed income coming out of Xbox and Apple and Netflix and PlayStation. So it's better for the developer long term, because they have more guaranteed income. They're less reliant on the whims of their player base. 5 years ago, the reaction that they've had to this FM would have been a studio-ending disaster. Whereas now, financially, much less important, because they're still making a lot of their money anyway. They're obviously not making as much as they would have done, but they're still making their money anyway, because they've got all those contracts in place. But yeah, I think the game should be the same across every platform. But the trick is optimizing it for each of those platforms as well. Like, it shouldn't feel clunky on any of them. And I think they maybe went a little bit too far consoleifying the PC version, when maybe they should have been searching more for some middle ground. So I think the idea was right. It just wasn't implemented very well. And I would love to be able to play the same save across multiple platforms. I would love to be able to do the in-betweeny bits on my Switch in bed or on my phone. It'd be great. Can't do it yet. Would love to get there eventually. Do you think if FM27 is also a disaster like FM26 at launch, etc., it could be the studio ender? It really depends on how long those contracts are. Ultimately, and I don't know, this is the big grey area that none of us know the answer to. Let's say they have a 5-year contract with Xbox Game Pass. Then no. Because they're getting paid anyway. So it really depends. They've got the Netflix contract, they've got the Apple contract, they've got the Microsoft contract, they've got the Sony contract, if those contracts are all long-term contracts with guaranteed payouts, they've got time. The only thing the only thing that would cause them a problem from the contract perspective, and this is where it makes it so much more complicated than it used to be, and it's the nuance that a lot of people I think miss. The thing that would have invalidated those contracts and genuinely put the studio at risk would have been not releasing a game again. And it's so easy to say, well, if the game wasn't finished, you shouldn't have released it. You should have delayed it for another year. Yeah. But that could have put the studio at risk, because then they're not getting paid on those contracts because they're not delivering their bit. Their contract will say they have to deliver a game. They have to deliver a Football Manager game. So it's almost the reverse if the contracts are in their favour. That being said, if the contracts are all up for renewal this year, then the FM26 launch could have been the studio ender, and they just don't know it yet, because they might come round to renewal o'clock and be like, we don't want to renew, or we're going to only give you a quarter of the money we gave you before because the game you made was dross. But we just don't know any of that, and we're not ever going to know any of that. We won't find out until Miles writes his autobiography. Is FM playable on Steam Deck? Yeah, it is. I don't want to play my Steam Deck in bed, though. I don't go to the gym often enough to be able to lift that monstrosity in bed. I have to play that sat at a desk. It's too heavy to play lying down. Yeah, I think we all just need, and it's so easy to say to me as the Football Manager content creator whose income relies on the game. A couple of things. As of right now, this channel has now dropped down to third place in the Lujo Enterprises in terms of the money it makes me. Both Block Party and the vlog channel have now surpassed the Football Manager content when you factor in ad revenue and sponsorships and all of the other stuff that goes into where the money comes from. So genuinely, Football Manager could go away tomorrow and it doesn't make much of a difference to me at all. I will be fine. I have two other more successful channels. This one I do because I genuinely still love the game. So I don't need to put rose tinted glasses on because I need the money, because I don't need the money. Kev, now a vlogger before FM content creator. I know, Streamer Showdown, Kev would have been furious. I used to hate that slur. But yeah, the vlog is more important from a business perspective than the FM at the moment. Which is bonkers. After 10 years of having that channel, I've figured out how to actually, it's doing better than it ever was at the height of the daily vlog at the moment. And not just because of Florida. The cruise stuff earlier in the year went really well as well. If you look at the average views we get on that channel as well, it's never been at that level before. But yeah, so I'm not saying this from I need it to succeed and I need it to exist, because I don't. But I think we do have to continue to temper our expectations. FM27 is not going to be perfect. If you are expecting FM27 to be perfect, you're going to be disappointed. If your condition for coming back to Football Manager for 27 is that it's perfect or it's better than 24, you're going to be disappointed, because it's not going to be. FM27 ideally gets measured against FM26. And if it's better than FM26, that's progress. And as I've said for 3 years, as soon as they announced that they were doing this complete rebuild, I started saying on streams regularly, loudly, publicly, it's going to take 3, 4, 5 years before we see the benefit of that. So, yeah, as long as they're making progress, me as someone who loves Football Manager and wants to continue playing it for the rest of my life, because I've played it for the last 35 years or however it's been, how long it's been, 30 years. All I'm hoping for, my expectation is that it's better than 26. Not better than launch 26. I want 27 to be better than the 26 we end up with at the end. So wherever 26 is when it gets its final update, if 27 is better than that, I'm happy. And everyone will be furious with me and call me a shill because it still won't be as good as 24. And it won't be. And the sooner everybody realises that and accepts that, the more comfortable they're going to be with what they do get served. Apologies if it's a bit private, but I've always been interested. How does Block Party offset the price of buying Lego, renting space, etc.? You might have already covered this. I mean, I'm not completely sure what you mean. Block Party makes us enough money to pay for all the Lego, pay for the storage unit, and pay mine and Anna's salary. Block Party covers everything. If all the other channels went away, if Twitch went away, TikTok went away, Football Manager, the vlog, if all that went away, we could still keep the studio, pay ourselves, and buy the amount of Lego we buy now based on what Block Party YouTube earns us. So yeah, Block Party is the company at the moment. I feel like with the poor launch, FM24 was spoken about as being godsend, but I remember when 24 launched, and even throughout the 2 years, I heard people saying nothing's really changed. Yeah, exactly. Then they changed stuff and everyone was upset. How full is the storage unit right now? Quite full. We're looking to move to somewhere bigger. As someone who plays new games on day one, bugs and unfinished aspects don't bother me. FM26 was a project that was destined to fail because they were using a brand new game engine with no experience with it. Yeah, exactly. And they'll get better at it. And yeah, I wouldn't still be sat here streaming Football Manager in the middle of May if I wasn't still enjoying playing the game, because in the nicest possible way and with the utmost respect to all of you and your time, 3 minutes ago I just told you how Block Party works, and I'm streaming to 200 people. This isn't a lucrative. There are better ways financially that I could be spending my evening. There are activities that I could be doing that would have a much better financial return than sitting and playing Football Manager and chatting to you lot. I'm doing this because it's fun, because I enjoy doing it. And I know there's going to be some people who just won't ever believe that, but I don't really care. I enjoy streaming and I enjoy playing Football Manager. Mitch, thank you very much for 20 months. Yeah, all that being said, if you could all give me a £5 to subscribe, that would be very much appreciated. Evening, Kev. Been a while since I've been in a stream. How's it all going? Wonderfully. We haven't won a game all season, but other than that, wonderfully. And I'd like to think when we're all playing FM29 and it's the best Football Manager game that's ever been released, you lot will all remind everybody that Kev stuck around when it was at its worst and deserves the 1 million subscribers he's now got, and deserves the 5,000 people who turn up to every stream because it's the biggest sports game on the planet. Hopefully in 29 Block Party is also doing mega well and you can give us all £5. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? I'd love to give everyone a £5. I assume Holy sponsorship and our company are equal in terms of importance to you streaming regularly. I mean, without breaking the terms of my contract by revealing the terms of my contract, if you watch all my content, you'll see that I have multiple contracts with Holy now. This one's the smallest one. By quite a long way. So even that. It was the first one. Have I streamed since I went to their 5th birthday party? Pity contract. No, in all seriousness, I had a conversation with them at the 5th birthday party, and one of the guys from Holy pulled his little spreadsheet out and told me that of his top six performing contracts that he has, I'm 3 of them. So thank you to everyone who supports Holy through any of my channels. As a community, the wider Lelujo Enterprises loves a beverage, clearly. We turn up and buy beverages. Just tuned in for the first time in a while and had no idea you were affiliated with Holy. That's amazing. I've been using them for a few years now and absolutely love them. I haven't had any other energy since I started using them. Lovely stuff. Well, if you use code Lelujo from now on, you'll save 10% on your orders. Next up, the second gaming channel. I need to find the time to actually upload to that, to actually get a sponsorship over there. That was always a bit ambitious, starting that. I just wanted somewhere to post Pocopia content. Who's going to do a goal for us? Maybe he will. Won't somebody do a football goal? Who have we got? We've not really got much. We've got Chizzy as our only attacker on the bench, which is a desperate state of affairs, if ever there were one. There you go, we'll do that. Speaking of Holy, I need to go get some more. You should. It's delightful. Right, can we win a game? At least we've found a formation and a system that makes us quite hard to beat. Now we just need to win some matches. We're not getting thumped 5-0 anymore, so we have made some progress. Oh my word. Oh my word. How many scoops do I use per flask? If I'm using the big flask, the 1 litre flask, I use 2 scoops. If I'm using the smaller flask, one heaped scoop, because I think this is like 650 ml. One level scoop is 500 ml, so I use like a heaped scoop for this, and I find that's just right. I feel left out because Holy don't ship to the US. They are working on it. I know they're working on it. It's not a deliberate decision not to ship there. There's just, as you can imagine, if you're in the US, there are 1 or 2 things that make it quite difficult to import stuff into the US currently. They are trying to figure out a way to make it so they can ship there. I don't know what that means, but I do know they are trying. So fingers crossed at some point. Holy isn't in the Netherlands either, really? That does surprise me, because they're based in Germany. You'd think they could just fling it over the border. Germany borders the Netherlands, right? I'm doing a map in my head. I'm fairly confident it does. They could just fling it over the border. I remember walking around Hamburg earlier in the year and seeing Holy on a billboard. That was a surprising thing. I think they are quite a big deal in Germany. Oh, look at all those live matches we've got on the telly. How exciting. I'd also like to point out, look at us on our little only lost 1 in 5. That's Champions League form right there. Let's ignore the fact we've played 10 games and not won yet this season. We've also only lost 1 in our last 5. It's progress. Sooner or later, we've got to start winning, haven't we? The games don't get any easier until we play Spurs. I only drink Holy. I think I have every flavour in my kitchen. I even won a competition not long ago and had my car wrapped by them with a Holy theme. That is amazing. Fit all your merch into your suitcases, or did you have to ship any items? I left some stuff there. I mean, without wanting to artificially drag it back to Holy, the Holy was actually one of the reasons why I was able to bring some stuff back, because I took... Have I got one in here as an example? Yes, I have. I took 3 full ones of these with me on the way out and didn't bring any home because between the 3 of us, we drank them all. So I don't know how much a full one of them weighs, but that probably was close to 2 kilos of weight just by drinking all the Holy. I then left all my disposable t-shirts. I took like half the t-shirts I took with me were just plain white ones that I got for a pack of 7 for like 18 quid on Prime Day from Amazon. So they all got left there. All my socks got left there because I just bought a load of cheap white socks, again on Amazon for about 15 quid. I left 2 pairs of trainers there, which were just like cheap £20 Prime Day Skechers, not very nice, but pretty comfortable. Bought with a view to being disposable shoes. So between drinking all the Holy, using up all my toiletries, leaving 2 pairs of trainers there, leaving all my socks there, leaving half my t-shirts there, we were able to make weight on the way home with all of the merch that I bought. And that's with me. I think I bought 4 Lego sets in total, maybe 10 t-shirts, a couple of plushies, and like a few things like key rings. And this thing's great. I don't know if any of you remember. I don't know if I ever talked about it. No, that's not what I'm trying to show you. Flying Tiger used to do something like this. It was like a week planner. And I would buy one every year and I'd use it to plan all my content. And then they stopped making it and it became rubbish. So I started using a notebook instead. It was on our last day. I found a version of the thing I used to get from Tiger, but it's a Small World themed. So I bought that, which I'm going to start using again to plan my content. I only got that out of the bag this afternoon, which is why I've not started using it yet. So I bought a few bits like that. But yeah, on the whole, it was just using up stuff and leaving stuff there that I planned to leave there. Yeah, my Kevin mug, which I thought would be in here, but it's not. It must be in the Lego room. So yeah, we did make it to 8. How many things with Kevin written on did I bring back? Where's Kevin Boulevard? Is that in here? I've got a sign for Kevin Boulevard. No, I even brought back some Disney plates, Disney paper plates. I'm just finding my Kevin Boulevard sign. Hold on a second. Oh no, there it is. There it is. So, I'm showing you some of my treasure now. Firstly, my favourite thing, my best t-shirt badge that was awarded to me in Hollywood Studios when I wore my Star Wars Flat Death Star Society t-shirt. A member of staff gave me that badge. Very proud of that. But I also have a street sign for Kevin Boulevard. I got this from the airport. A little buildable JetBlue plane. Just fell down there. All my focus fell down. Not good. There's my Kevin mug that I got from the Lego store. I also have a John Cena spinner keyring Lego style thing, which I think is downstairs on my keys, which is annoying. I also started collecting all of the collectible medallions you get around the parks and the hotels. I bought far too many of these and got a little folder to put them in. So I got some treasure. Manuel did a goal. I don't know where my spinner keyring is, but I am looking forward to building my JetBlue aeroplane. We didn't fly with JetBlue, but they sold them in the shop at the airport. I have seen that there's a Disney experience in London. We haven't been yet. It's the one at Wembley, isn't it? We are planning to go at some point. Yeah, and a few other silly bits and bobs like that. Lots of stuff with my name on, because I like having things with my name on. And then just lots of t-shirts. You're going to see me wearing a lot of Disney t-shirts going forward, because I've bought so many of them. I also bought some, what I'm going to call American t-shirts. I got one from the Bass Pro Fishing Shop. I got one of their t-shirts. I got one from Ron John's Surf Shop. I got a few from Universal as well. So I got a Minions one. So Kevin the Minion. I've got Kevin the Minion as a t-shirt, a beverage holder, I bought my first Loungefly bag because it was Kevin the Minion. So I bought a few silly things. Yeah, I got a Bass Pro cap as well. I got a Legoland cap, which is really cool. Pin trading is a huge thing that I avoided completely. Anna and Pab both got involved in buying like mystery bags of pins and doing the pin trading stuff. I know enough about myself. You can see from my surroundings, I do not need another thing to collect. So when they were getting pins, I was getting the medallions because they're much less intense. So I got my collecting buzz from medallions, but they were quite into the pin trading stuff. But the pin trading was everywhere. Yeah, pin trading was definitely a big thing. I need to show you my bag. I need to go and get my bag. I'll be back in a second. Now, it's important that we all realise this isn't the most masculine bag I've ever owned. I have no idea when, where, or how I'm going to wear it. But how could I not buy that? It's got his little teddy on as well. It's Kevin the Minion. I can have it as a backpack or as a shoulder bag. It's an official Universal Studios exclusive Loungefly bag. I mean, it's just great. I might wear it to the next Football Manager meetup. It's a great bag. Is it on a video? The video where I buy that hasn't come out yet. There's still like 6 videos still to come out. I haven't even finished editing them all yet. Does it fit the Steam Deck? My Steam Deck is not in here. And I'm not going to leave the room for a third time. Looking at it, I would say probably not. But it'll fit like camera and microphone, battery, sunglasses, wallet, phone. It's a handbag. It will fit all of my handbag stuff in it. It just won't double up as an actual backpack because I can't fit my laptop, my Switch, like backpack stuff. It's not going to fit, but just handbag things, it will fit perfectly. That was one of two Kevin bags I could have bought as well. There's another one that Anna thinks the other one is better. I think that one was better. But you judge for yourself. I think the vlog where I found that is coming out tomorrow. So you'll have to decide for yourself if I bought the right Kevin bag. Oh my word, we're in the lead! We are in the lead for, I think, the first time this season. We are playing all three of our strikers up front together as well. Maybe that's what we needed to score goals. All three of our fancy new strikers. Secretly, Galaxy's Edge made you want to buy the big Lego Falcon, hasn't it? I mean, in all seriousness, you lot know I'm not a Star Wars guy, but I thought Galaxy's Edge was fantastic. I loved both the rides in there. I went on both of the rides. I even posted this in the Block Party Discord on the way home. Hold on. I just posted that picture of the in-flight entertainment with the caption, I guess this is my moment. I had already seen 4, 5 and 6 like 2 years ago when everyone made me buy them. On the watch them, sorry. On the way home, I watched episode 1 and episode 2. I've now seen 5 of the 5. I've now seen the first 5 Star Wars films. I'll be watching episode 3 soon. Nobody told me there was this many Muppets in Star Wars. I love the Muppets. People have been selling it to me all wrong. Even the comments to that on Discord, the first person said, I'm sorry that today might be the day you finally experience Jar Jar Binks. Jar Jar Binks is brilliant. He's great. He's everything I want from someone in a movie. So, yeah, I might be getting into Star Wars just in time to buy a £700 Millennium Falcon before it retires. One of the parcels that got delivered to Matt's house was my Star Wars Day Lego delivery. So I got Wicket the Ewok, because I love Ewoks. I've always loved Ewoks. I liked the cartoon as a kid. So I got Wicket the Ewok, the new Darth Vader bust, because I like Gareth Vader. And that got me the Dark Saber gift that came with it. So yeah, I've bought some Star Wars stuff. There's a PR company that are supposedly sending us the new big set on behalf of Lego. It was all very confusing and complicated, and we haven't received it yet, so I don't know if it's actually coming. But I might even have the big new ship come on its way. That was another thing that was supposed to be delivered to Matt's house but wasn't. So we're chasing that up now to find out where it went. But yeah, I might be becoming a Trekkie. Which is annoying, because what I really wanted to get into was Lord of the Rings, and try as hard as I can, as I am, I just can't. I want the Lord of the Rings Lego, because that looks incredible, but I just can't get into that at all. Whereas Star Wars, it's being forced upon me by circumstance. By being around Lego so much, I can't get away from it. And then the stuff at Disney was brilliant. I didn't go to the Hulk Hogan wrestling shop, no. But in a very interesting development, because we were watching wrestling every night, maybe not because, but I was watching wrestling every night because it's on TV every night in America. Anna sat there and watched the whole of the Hulk Hogan documentary on Netflix. So I don't know if she's going to get into wrestling, but she actually watched it and engaged with it. So if I can get Anna into wrestling, the next time we go, she'll be wanting to go to the Hulk Hogan wrestling shop. All I wanted was an NWO t-shirt. I was just a little bit afraid to go in the shop because it looked a little bit sketchy. I assume, what with him being dead, he's not working in there. So I don't know who's running it. He probably wasn't working in there to begin with. But yeah, I didn't go to Hulk Hogan's shop. But I did take a picture of it from opposite it, because I was in the McDonald's opposite that has a pizza oven. I have started the Lord of the Rings books. I read The Hobbit, didn't really get on with it, didn't enjoy it. Did read it. It was slow going because I just wasn't enjoying it. Haven't been brave enough to start the next book yet. Or like the first Lord of the Rings book. But I've got them. They're ready to go. I just need to get in the mood for it, I think. Maybe we're going to win a football match. Manuel's got a hat trick and we're going to win a match. Maybe this big castle that's coming out is going to convince me to get into Lord of the Rings. Jar Jar is awesome, and Kevin, if you become a Trekkie, you're going to have to watch all the TV shows as well. Oh, I don't want. That's the thing I really don't want to do. I don't want there to be that much content. I'll watch the films maybe if I keep enjoying them, but I'm not watching all of that. There's too much. I don't even watch the Marvel TV shows, and I love Marvel, but I don't even watch all that for Marvel. I'm certainly not going to do it for Star Wars. Go on, we want 5. Oh my word, we've got a penalty! Boys and girls, it's clicking! How far did you get with the Pokemon show? I'm like 30 episodes in, I think, to Pokemon. It was fine. I don't feel the need to go back to it. Maybe when they release some more Pokemon Lego, I'll watch some more of the Pokemon show. Aston Villa 2, Bedford 5. Come on! We have arrived back in the Premier League. Beautiful stuff. We're off the bottom of the league. We're only 1 point from safety. Villa are one of the teams we're chasing, and we've just battered them. And I think next we play Bournemouth and Spurs. We could be mid-table by the end of the stream. At least we have a lengthy boy who can score Premier League goals. Doesn't look like so bad a transfer now, with 4 goals from 9 starts. 1 goal from 8 was a little worrying. I do like this Bedford kit. It is a very nice kit, isn't it? Did you all see my Twitter announcement of the FM 2017, by the way, for Non-League to Legend? Can't believe we haven't talked about that. There's been so much that's gone on in the last 3 weeks. But Harbour Town are going to be the FM 27 starter team. A lot of people got very upset that it's not Spalding, because I don't think they realised I moved house 6 years ago. Did I say 17? I meant 27. You know what I mean. But yeah, Harbour Town will be our starting team for FM 27. Have I come to the right place for an FM 26's Doom stream? I'm afraid not. We're very positive here. We're enjoying the game. If you want negativity, watch the first half hour when we went through the statement that came out on Monday. I'm not blind to the issues with the game, but I can overlook them and still have a nice time. Is that allowed? Yeah, I just don't see the appeal in spending my Thursday evening playing a game that I wasn't enjoying. I don't know why people are doing it. I do know why people are doing it. They're doing it because they've built their entire livelihood around one game, which is a terrifyingly bad idea. You need multiple irons in the fire, boys and girls. And then you can only play the game if you're enjoying yourself. Yeah, Harbour Town. The American doing 100 hours of streaming last week was a bit much. Why did he stream for 100 hours? What on earth was he doing? Trying to make sure I didn't turn up at his house to say hello. I've got the address of his family home, because I was on the Christmas card list for 1 year, and it had a return address on, so I could have legitimately turned up at Zealand Manor. But why on earth was he streaming for 100 hours? What was he streaming for 100 hours? Was there an obscure international tournament qualifying bracket that he had to give his thoughts on. Or did he just have a transfer window that he wanted to play through? He mostly did FM. I mean, fair enough. Obviously, he's enjoying it because he's another example of someone who doesn't need to do it. He's got plenty of other stuff going on. He doesn't need to be playing FM if he's not enjoying it. So he must be enjoying it, or else he wouldn't be playing it, you would think. I assume it's clear from watching content, certainly streams. I don't think anyone involved in Football Manager is a good enough actor to pretend they're having a nice time if they're not. So I think it's pretty clear who's playing it because they enjoy it and who's playing it because they have to, would be my guess. Sounds like he's enjoying it despite the game. Yeah, I think that's where a lot of people are. Obviously, the game's not perfect. Obviously, it has its faults. But it is still... Playing this Football Manager is still better than not playing any Football Manager, as far as I'm concerned, because I love playing Football Manager. Right, let's beat Manchester City. Does Ben even still play it? I've not seen him around in ages. I don't know, actually. I had a brief interaction with him on Twitter the other day, because I think he's going to get us another round table up and running. But I haven't heard anything more from that. But he's another example of someone who's got other stuff going on. He'll play Football Manager when he's enjoying it, and when he's not, he'll do something else. Seen Jack around a bit lately. My commiserations. I'm back now, don't worry. You don't need to watch Jack anymore. I'm back. I'm sorry for having a little bit of time off. I'm sorry if anyone had to watch Jack. I am back now, though. You're fine. Hopefully next year we'll be better. I don't think there's even a question. I think FM27 will definitely be better than FM26. I think it will. If I had to make a prediction, it would be better than FM26, not as good as FM24. I'll be fine. A lot of people will still moan, but I think a lot of the people who were mega negative have now moved on anyway. So I think there'll be less backlash. That's my prediction. Ordered some Holy, used your link. Thank you very much. It's good stuff. In other news, bring back Johnny Day and Casa Grande. I think we might have moved on beyond them too. Next time in Florida, add a Disney cruise. More fun, more content. The thing is, they're so expensive. We've looked into it. They're so expensive. I mean, we probably will at some point, just because we'll run out of like new things to show in videos. And we've had a straight red. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think... I love cruises and I love Disney. I question, and I will be open to being proved wrong when the time comes, I question how Disneyfied you can make a cruise. I'm intrigued by the idea, but not rushing out to do it. There you go. We're going very narrow. I hate to talk about the FM, but Martina demanding more playtime than immediately chopping someone down is very funny. It is, isn't it? I see people saying on Reddit, etc., should I play FM26 or get FM24? I always say get 26. It's not as good, but it's shaping up. Yeah, I completely agree with that. Why would you buy 24 when 26 exists? You're going to have to make that jump to the new UI at some point. You may as well do it now and suffer with the rest of us. But no, it's a game I still enjoy playing. So I can't emphasize enough. If I wasn't enjoying it, I wouldn't be playing it. I really want to play Mixtape, but I'd rather do this. So I'll play Mixtape on my Switch at some point. I would say Disney Cruise is nice, but if you like P&O, keep doing P&O since the difference isn't that much and the price jump isn't worth it. Yeah, that's the thing. It's so expensive. We had quite a lot of people at our hotel at various points during the 2 weeks we were there either turn up on or disappear on the Disney cruise bus. So I think it's quite common to do like a combination trip where you do part of your holiday on the cruise and then part of it at a hotel. And I think if you're going to do it, that's probably the best way to do it. I feel like I would be missing out on a lot of the Disney by just being on a boat that doesn't have Small World on it. Shoot! Come on! Manuel has arrived in the Premier League. He is a Premier League striker. This is what happens when you buy a £35 million striker from Real Madrid. He ends up quite good. But he's got some confidence now. He's actually doing goals, which is lovely. City are quite good though. They're knocking the ball around us for fun. I can't work out what positions O'Reilly and Lewis are playing. They both seem to be playing central midfield. But usually in FM, they're a fullback partnership. So they might just be playing as inverted wing backs. And because we've got no width, they're just having all the fun. Oh, Yamamoto's in. Can we take the lead against City? Come on then! Look at us go! Lovely, lovely, lovely. I think dynamics has taken a notch up. Team cohesion has clicked. A few of the foreign players have learnt basic English. And all of those things have happened at the same time. We ain't getting relegated, boys and girls. Come along then. Shoot! Oh, balls. Just realised they've got Musiala, who I think won the penalty, so I haven't just realised it. I was choosing not to acknowledge it. Is it the usual Musiala, Haaland and Mbappe front three that City end up with? Because that's quite the attack if it is. They've not got Mbappe. Oh my word! Left backs are going in like maniacs today. Okay, so Lewis is playing right back but inverted wing back and O'Reilly is playing in midfield. They're both spending a lot of time in this area though. And he's a channel midfielder, so he's starting in and drifting out there. He's starting out there and drifting in here. So they're both doing similar roles with opposite starting positions. Let's offer some encouragement. Let's try and win the football match with 10 men against Manchester City. Because why not? Oh. Oh, Manuel doesn't win the header that time. But our midfield's played very well today. That three in there are having a nice time. Right, come on. Do a goal. Do a goal. Do a goal! We've got a corner and we've got some tall boys. But we did not score the corner, despite having tall boys. Hideous. Right. I don't want to rock the boat too much. Yeah, we're not making any subs, I don't think. We're not rocking the boat at all. Until players start getting tired, we stay as we are. You can play Forza Horizon Early Access in 90 minutes. Is there a new Forza Horizon coming out? I love Forza Horizon. How do I not know about this? Do I need Game Pass? I don't know if I've got Game Pass anymore. I'll have to check. I probably have. I don't tend to cancel things. But I love Forza Horizon. Ah, balls. Ah, you're offside, you big turd. But I might be playing some Forza Horizon later. What? The lines... Oh, they have got Mbappe. He is there. He's miles offside. So they have now got the Mbappe, Haaland, Musiala front three. You know what? We're doing all right to only be 1 goal down against them. I think we can hold our heads high. With 10 men as well, remember? There we go. We'll save a final substitution. You need premium upgrade if you have Game Pass. Tuesday actual release. I can wait until Tuesday then. I've got too much work to catch up on anyway. Who is this guy? Barragan. Okay. See if he's any good. Attacking. Can we demand more? I mean, there's no shame in losing by the odd goal when you've played most of the match with 10 men. It just takes some of the momentum off us a little bit. But I think we've proven that we're a pretty good team in these last couple of matches. It's set in Japan this time, is it, by golly? Don't appeal. Silly boy. Who do we play next? Bournemouth. Right, this is now a run of games that is setting us up nicely. Bournemouth, Spurs, Ipswich, Fulham. We should get 8 points from those matches. And if we get 8 points from those 4 matches, we'll be on 16 points after 16 games. So 8 points off the next 4 matches gets us to the Kev ratio, which means safety. So that's got to be the goal. And I think we're going to leave that as the target for the next stream, which should be on Tuesday. I will level with you, boys and girls. I'm very sleepy. I only got back yesterday, and my body clock is telling me it's like 2:30 in the morning. So I'm going to go to bed. I'm not going to play Forza. I'm not going to force myself to stay until 10. But we are going to do those matches and start winning some matches in the next stream. At least we won tonight. That makes me very, very happy. And I'll see you again on Tuesday. Obviously, we've got lots of other content across the channels between now and then. Should be a Lego stream tomorrow night as well, as we return to some normality. Toodle pip, everybody. Bye-bye. Big smiles.